An NBA fan noticed something suspicious on Twitter. It eventually led to the league pulling one of their refs from the finals. A guy named @MikeyWylan pointed out that whenever Eric Lewis refs a Celtics game, they usually win. Then a random user, @BlairCutliff, jumped in to defend him. When Mikey said, well, it's not just about Eric Lewis, Cutliff continued to defend Eric Lewis. The conversation kept going, but Cutliff kept bringing it back to Eric Lewis. Mikey thought, that's weird, so he checked the tweets, and sure enough, Cutliff had 21 tweets on May 19th about referees, 17 about Eric Lewis. Who does that? Maybe an actual ref? But Mikey needed more proof that this was a burner account, so he checked who Cutliff follows. 5 people at the time. 2 official NBA accounts, the NBA referees, Ref Analytics, and George Mason Women's Basketball. What? So he searched for a connection, and bam! Eric Lewis's wife is the head coach at George Mason. How much more proof do you want? He also found that the burner Instagram was attached to an email address that looked like Eric Lewis, but the case was rock solid. This was a burner account. But was Mikey really gonna expose a ref for defending himself? Well, the NBA has had burner controversies in the past, but the AM Hoops Discord was going off for NBA Finals Game 1 last night. I am in there not using a burner, or am I? I opened it up for free for everybody. If you want to join, click the link in the description. In 2018, the Sixers GM, Brian Colangelo, was caught talking trash about his own players. The GM said Joel Embiid behaved like an idiot 22-year-old when dealing with his injury. He also said Joel should play while hurt because he's not the future of the franchise, so who cares if he's not 100%? Let's exploit him. What? So how did he get caught? Well, the burner would send juicy inside information to reporters, and some of them put 2 and 2 together. But there are less toxic examples, like when Kevin Durant forgot to switch to his burner and tweeted, imagine taking Russ off OKC. See how bad they were. KD can't win a championship with those cats. Embarrassing, but no one got hurt. So how bad was this referee burner? Well, if it's true that he is a Celtics fan, it's really bad. Could this dude be going online to make people think he's not rigging games? It all started when LeBron freaked out. During the regular season, LeBron went up to win the game against the Celtics, but no foul was called. How could they not see that? LeBron went ballistic, but the viral clip was when Patrick Beverley showed a camera to a ref saying, look at this foul. That ref though, Eric Lewis. In fact, he was the crew chief in charge that night. People went online and found out that the Celtics win a lot with Eric Lewis. This tweet went viral saying the C's are 36 and 2 when he officiated. That tweet was viewed over 18 million times. Another person found a picture of Lewis's family decked out in Celtics gear on game day. Someone else showed this video of what appears to be Eric Lewis visibly upset when Jimmy Butler scores the winning bucket. This is looking really bad for Eric Lewis. So Mikey leaked the story to a podcast host, knowing then it might go viral, and it did. He tweeted that NBA ref Eric Lewis was behind the burner account and showed the receipts. Most people were laughing at the situation, but not the NBA. They started an investigation to see if it was all true, and 4 days later, Lewis was not named a finals referee. But he had worked the finals 5 straight years before this. At the very least, he has been demoted and lost money for not reffing the finals. But there's still a chance he could get fired. This is exactly what Mikey was afraid of. Was the burner this bad? Well, it turns out that viral tweet that said Boston is 36 and 2 with Eric Lewis reffing is a troll account, and that number is fake. But 18 million people saw it. The real number is 26 and 14 if you go back that far. And if you look at all these years, it's when the Celtics are good. They draft Jason Tatum in 2017, then go to 5 of the next 7 conference finals. Is it so crazy they've got a good record with Eric Lewis? Or is it the same with every other ref because they win games? But the tweet went crazy, proving that the ref was corrupt, so dude just jumped in to try to defend himself. But remember that tweet that showed Eric Lewis visibly upset when Jimmy Butler beat Boston? It turns out that ref is Rodney Mott, who just kind of looks like Eric Lewis, but that went viral too. All this info was going out there to paint this guy as crooked, and people were eating it up because that's the kind of story people love. NBA ref stats have gotten so popular recently because people love conspiracies, especially on the internet. So Eric Lewis decided to fight back. The Blair Cutcliffe account was created way back in 2015, and it barely tweeted, but then it got super active once that LeBron non-call happened. That's also when this conspiracy theory got started, so Lewis defended his name. That is not a fireable offense. I think most people would actually do that. He gets off work, has a beer, searches his name on the internet. That's like 90% of NBA players. Some players actually do that at halftime. So why did the NBA take action? Because they are paranoid about NBA ref conspiracies. When Tim Donaghy was legit busted for giving out picks on games he refed, the FBI secretly told Commissioner David Stern. But instead of letting the FBI do undercover surveillance, Stern leaked it to the media to make it front page news. That ruined the FBI investigation. They could have busted other crooked refs by making Donaghy wear a wire. But Stern did not care. He would rather have it look like an isolated ref than a league-wide problem. So now, even though this burner account is not a big deal, Eric Lewis is not a secret Celtics fan, they have demoted him from the NBA Finals. Now, I'm not saying what Lewis did was right. I mean, part of the job as a ref is to be mentally strong enough to rise above this kind of stuff, not create a burner account to fight back. I mean, some of the tweets are straight hilarious. Someone questioned a Dennis Schroeder foul, to which he replied, "Butt juice." He slammed a random fan's ref rankings where Lewis was 69th, and he randomly congratulated his own wife on getting a contract extension. How obvious can you get? But he is human. Being a ref is the worst job in sports. If you do your job well, no one says a thing. One mistake follows you the rest of your life. Every week, we see some idiot parent fighting a referee like this dude at an 8th grade basketball game. But unless the NBA starts to use robots to call games, this stuff is gonna happen. I'll bet Lewis isn't even the only ref who's used a burner. But that Tim Donaghy story did actually happen and was crazy. Like, not many people know that the NBA squashed the FBI's investigation, but one detail did come out. There is a current ref today who is suspicious. Evidence shows he might have been involved too. We never found out more information, of course, but the proof is wild. Check it out.